Hi, this is Fabian Trahan, and welcome to Ectophobia Radio, the Parasanctum Podcast. Welcome to episode 21 of the Parasanctum Podcast. This is your host, Fabian Trahan. I hadn't touched base with the state of Arizona. There's one particular story that has really fascinated me for over 25 years. I remember a show called Ghost Stories by a fella by the name of Patrick McNee. He was an actor in England. He did the Avengers back in the 60s in England. But he'd done a story on his show about a spirit of a Navajo, half white girl named Anna back in 1870s, 1880s. And Anna was the daughter of John Martin, who had headed for Arizona Territory and settled in what is now Prescott, Arizona. In exchange for some gunpowder and some whiskey, John was paid with a young Navajo maiden, whom he made his wife and built a home for. And that home was half English style or American style, combined with the Hogan style Navajo home. Maybe it's still standing, but the show was like 20 something years ago, so they said that it was still standing, but it may be gone by now. John Martin's daughter Anna, Anna was born in 1870 from the young Navajo woman that John got in exchange for gunpowder and whiskey. And the mother, the Navajo woman, died in childbirth. As Anna grew up, she preferred to wear Navajo-style clothing and go by the name of Red Feather instead of her name. She wanted to be known for her Navajo side, but she was clearly half Navajo and half white. Being such, she wasn't accepted by white society, and as a teenager, she ran away from her abusive father and the white people who had shunned her, and she took refuge in her mother's native village. But unfortunately, the young girl did not fit in the Navajo village either. She was accepted into the village, but was forced to work and eat alone. The only place she felt at home was at the nearby Spirit Canyon, a canyon which long held a mystical and sacred reputation. While at the canyon, studying hieroglyphs of her ancestors, or petroglyphs, Red Feather spied one such drawing that depicted a young man leaping headfirst to his death into the canyon, joining the spirit world. It is believed that this particular drawing is what inspired young Red Feather to follow the young man's destiny, at last escaping both the white man's world and the Navajo world that had shunned her. Unfortunately, Red Feather took her own life by plunging into Spirit Canyon in 1887 at the age of 17. However, shortly after this, and this is all a true story, reports of a young Navajo woman seen in and around Spirit Canyon began. Sightings of this phantom continue into modern day, as many who have stumbled upon this secluded spot have had a chance encounter with this young Navajo girl who vanishes right before their eyes. Now, Ghost Stories was such a wonderful show. I loved watching that back in the 90s and early 2000s. And I'm going to give you a little more context to this. Let's go in a little deeper. I'm going to try to anyway. Well, this northern canyon that's surrounded by the Navajo Nation, Spirit Canyon, well, apparently Anna has haunted it for the last 150 or so years. See, the Navajos actually believe that the deceased come back as either animal or human spirits. And one such spirit lingers because she was from the two worlds, neither of which accepted her when she was alive. Being treated that way, being kicked out by the white people and then the Navajo, You know, you can only imagine. You can only imagine how she must have felt. Nowhere to go, no one to love her. It's truly a sad story. You know, her dad loved her mom because he built the 8-sided Navajo hogan and then combined it with his own European style. But being a man of that time, he was probably alcoholic, and he was obviously very abusive and mistreated both of them. And Anna didn't even have a mother. She just had this terrible dad that just mistreated her so badly. It's absolutely unconscionable how this girl was treated. So she just like, screw it. I'm like, why should I even go on? She's looking to try to connect to something. And it makes you wonder if that's why her spirit is still lingering around that canyon. She's still looking for that connection. Arizona's full of canyons. My daughter lives there. We live in Tennessee, but she lives way over in Arizona. I actually have driven a truck through there many years ago. I used to run through Arizona to California, and it's very pretty. It's a very pretty state. Everyone thinks it's just desert, but no, there's parts of Arizona that are, it gets green as you get further north. A lot of people don't realize that about Arizona. It's a beautiful state. It's not all desert and things like that. It's got some beautiful topography, beautiful canyons and rivers, pine trees and mountains. Very pretty state. The canyon being adorned with magic drawings. Well, to them, to the Navajos, all these petroglyphs, these drawings on the rocks from the ancient, what I'm believing may be the Hopi actually, but the drawings may have also been Navajo. I'd have to actually look into the history. When she saw the young warrior who wanted to join the spirit world and he jumped to his death, I think that was just it. That was the last straw for her. It was her choice. Having no desire to remain in a world that had no place for her, Red Feather, in the spring of 1887, leaped to her death off of a canyon cliff. And her spirit is apparently haunting people. But as per the Patrick McNee Ghost Stories video that was done, here's some excerpts from that, the people that claimed they had seen her. So here's one from a woman who's a Navajo Native American Indian. Her name's Sarah Nahiu. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This was her statement on the show back in the late 90s, early 2000s. She said, "When I was a little girl, I often went out to Spirit Canyon." This is Sarah talking. "Which is a sacred place for the Indian people. One morning while in the canyon, just after sunrise, I saw a woman standing on the edge. She was wearing traditional clothes. She looked like you could see right through her. I couldn't see her face because it looked like it was all black. Then she was gone, just like that. And I couldn't believe it. I was terrified, and after that, I never went out there again." Another person named Deborah Pennington on the show said, "We like to hike a lot, my husband and I. We take a tent and a little food and camp out for a couple of days. We were out in the Painted Desert. We found this great canyon with petroglyphs on the walls. We decided to camp the night there. We had a pretty good fire going. I felt kind of funny all of a sudden. I looked up and there was this thing, this woman or girl. She was kind of glowing. Her face I couldn't see. It was glowing all white. I've never seen anything like it. Then she just faded away, vanished. It scared the living daylights out of both of us." And there's also another one by a man by the name of Howard Coleman, who also was on the show. And his encounter, he states, "We were on vacation with our grandchildren. We like to take the back roads a lot. We really feel you should see much more that way, especially with the kids. We had been to the National Monument north of Window Rock on Highway 191, headed back down to the Petrified Forest. I saw a strange girl walking on the side of the road, dressed in Indian clothes. I'm not sure what it was, but something made me stop. I looked at her and she just vanished. I am not the kind of person that believes in this weird stuff. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. She disappeared. She just disappeared. These magic drawings are petroglyphs. Petroglyphs are rock carvings done by prehistoric people. They are found all over the world, and quite extensively in the state of Arizona. So if you ever get a chance to go through Spirit Canyon near Prescott, you might just want to pay attention and see if you can spot red feather. Thank you for listening to the Parasanctum Podcast, episode 21. I do hope you take care with whatever it is that you're doing. Also, I hope that each and every one of you has a great August. And also, I'd like to give a special shout out to Patrick McNee. He passed away in 2015. He was an excellent storyteller and an actor. Visit patrickmcnee.com. That's patrickmcnee.com. Take care now. Bye-bye.